Have you ever felt incredibly motivated to change your life, only to give up 3 days later? Maybe you woke up Monday ready to transform everything. Exercise, eat healthy, wake up early. You felt unstoppable, but by Wednesday, the motivation was gone. Or maybe you're tired of waiting for motivation to strike before you take action. If that sounds familiar, this story is for you. Because once there was a young athlete who learned the hard way that motivation is a terrible master, but discipline is an unbeatable servant. Stay with me until the end. Once upon a time, in a small town in Colorado surrounded by mountain peaks, there lived a 17-year-old high school runner named Daniel. Daniel was a senior at Mountain View High School, and everyone said he had natural talent. When he ran, it looked effortless. His stride was smooth, his breathing controlled. Coaches from other schools noticed him at meets. But Daniel had one fatal flaw that kept him from greatness. He only trained when he felt motivated. On days when he woke up inspired, when the sunrise looked perfect, when his favorite song played on the radio, when his body felt energized, Daniel ran like the wind. He would complete his entire training routine with passion. 6 miles at race pace, sprint drills, hill repeats, core strengthening. Those days, he felt invincible, unstoppable. But on days when the sky was gray, when his bed felt too comfortable, when his muscles ached from yesterday, when motivation didn't show up, Daniel didn't either. "I'll make up for it tomorrow," he told himself every time. "I need to listen to my body. I can't force it when it doesn't feel right." His training log told the real story. Chaos. 3 intense days with 10 miles each, then 5 days of complete rest. 2 glorious weeks of perfect discipline running twice daily. Then an entire month where he barely touched the track. He kept waiting for that magical feeling to return. His coach, a former state champion named Coach Martinez, who had been coaching for 15 years, grew increasingly frustrated. Every Monday morning, the same conversation. "Daniel, where were you Wednesday? Friday? Saturday?" "Coach, I just didn't feel it. My body needed rest. I was tired. Your body needed rest? Or your mind needed motivation?" Daniel would get defensive. "I can't force myself to train when I don't feel it. That's not authentic. That's not sustainable. The best athletes train with joy, not obligation." Coach Martinez would shake his head. "The best athletes train whether they feel joy or not. That's what makes them the best." But Daniel didn't listen. He genuinely believed that motivation was the fuel for success. He followed motivational accounts on Instagram. He watched YouTube videos of championship races and inspiring speeches every morning, trying to manufacture the feeling that would make him want to lace up his shoes and hit the track. When motivation visited him, he trained like a future champion. When motivation left, he sat on the couch scrolling his phone, waiting for it to return. Coach Martinez would say, "Daniel, you have the raw talent to win state. You could be standing on that podium in 6 months, but talent without consistency is just wasted potential. It's unfulfilled promise." But Daniel would wave it off. "Don't worry, coach. When it matters, when the big race comes, I'll show up. I always perform well in competition. Race day is different." What Daniel didn't understand was that race day performance is built brick by brick on training day discipline, and his training days were built on sand, not stone. His biggest competition was about to teach him that lesson in the most crushing way possible. 4 months before the state championship, a new student transferred to Mountain View High. His name was Chen. Nothing about Marcus screamed champion, average build, decent but not impressive times, but Marcus had something Daniel didn't. Every single morning, 5:30 a.m. sharp, Marcus was on the track. Rain or shine, then every afternoon at 4 p.m., he was back. 4 hours of training daily. Daniel watched him from his window on mornings when he stayed in bed. He thought, he's going to burn out. You can't sustain that without passion. But Marcus never burned out. 4 months passed. Daniel had bursts of brilliant training, but then motivation would fade. Marcus just showed up every single day. Then came the regional championship, the race that determined who qualified for state. The starting gun fired. For the first 2 miles, Daniel led. His natural talent carried him. He felt good. The crowd cheered. He thought, see, motivation works. But at mile 3, his body began to fail. His lungs burned. His legs felt like concrete. All those mornings he skipped because he didn't feel like it, had accumulated into debt his body was now collecting. And then Marcus passed him, not with explosive speed, but with the steady, relentless pace of someone whose body had been trained to endure. Marcus's breathing was controlled. His form was perfect. He looked unbothered. Daniel tried to match him, but his body wouldn't respond. 2 more runners passed him. Daniel finished 5th. Only the top 3 qualified for state. Marcus won. That evening, Daniel sat alone in the empty stadium. He had no medal, no state qualification, no proof that his talent mattered. For the first time in his life, he cried. Not because he had failed once, but because he had failed the same way, over and over, for years. He whispered, I'm tired of being the guy who almost did something great. The next morning before sunrise, Daniel knocked on Coach Martinez's office door. Coach, Daniel said, his voice breaking, I need help. I don't know how to be consistent. I only train when I feel like it. Marcus beat me because he showed up every day. I need to learn how to do that. Coach Martinez had been waiting for this conversation for 3 years. Come with me, he said quietly. They walked out to the track. The sun was just beginning to rise. Beyond the field stood a line of old cottonwood trees. Daniel, the coach said, pointing to the horizon. Do you see those trees? A gust of wind swept across the field. It pushed the flags, scattered leaves, made the grass dance wildly. The wind is powerful, Coach Martinez said. When it blows, it feels amazing, effortless. That's what motivation feels like. He paused. But what happens when the wind stops? Within 30 seconds, the wind died. The flags went limp. Everything became still. Without the wind, nothing moves, Daniel whispered. Exactly. Motivation is like the wind, beautiful when it's there, but you can't control it. You can't depend on it to show up every single day. Coach Martinez pointed at the cottonwood trees. Now look at those trees. The wind tried to break them, but they didn't fall. Why? Because they have roots? Yes, deep roots you cannot see. Roots that went down into the earth slowly, over decades. Those roots don't wait for perfect weather. They're just there, strong, reliable, constant. The coach's voice became intense. Discipline is like those roots, Daniel. You build it slowly, daily, beneath the surface where no one can see. It's not exciting, but when the wind of motivation stops blowing, and it always stops, discipline is what keeps you standing. Coach Martinez pulled out a training log. For the next 90 days, here's the protocol. Every morning, 5:30 to 8 a.m., you're on this track. Every afternoon, 4 to 5 9:30 p.m. 4 hours daily, 6 days a week. When your brain makes excuses, you respond, "My roots don't negotiate with wind." Then you train anyway. You mark an X on this calendar for every session. Never break the chain. Each X is 1 day deeper your roots go. If you're sick, you adapt. Do stretching, visualization, something. The chain stays unbroken. He placed his hand on Daniel's shoulder. Motivation will visit you during these 90 days. Enjoy it, use it, but never depend on it. He pointed at the trees. The wind gets all the attention. Everyone sees it, feels it, talks about it. But the wind doesn't win championships. The roots do. Day 1, 5:15 a.m. Daniel's alarm shattered the silence. His body screamed to stay in bed. He felt no motivation, just the memory of Coach's words. My roots don't negotiate with wind. He got up, he trained. The first 2 X marks went on the calendar. Day 2, same resistance, same decision, same X marks. Day 3, it rained hard, cold, soaking rain. Every instinct said go home. He ran anyway, because roots grow even in the rain. The first 2 weeks were torture. Every morning felt like war. His brain created excuses. You're tired. One day won't matter. You'll get injured. But Daniel didn't have to win the argument. He just had to ignore it and move his feet. By week 3, something shifted. His body started waking at 5:10 a.m. before the alarm, not because he wanted to, but because it expected to. Week 5 brought a real test. Friday night, his friends threw the biggest party of the semester. The party started at 8 p.m. The old Daniel would have stayed out until midnight, then slept through Saturday training. But the new Daniel did the math. Morning training at 5:30. Needs 7-8 hours sleep. That means in bed by 9:30 p.m. At 9:15 p.m., while the party was going strong, Daniel said goodbye. His best friend Jake grabbed his arm. "Dude, it's not even 9:30. You're really leaving?" "I have training at 5:30 tomorrow morning." "It's Saturday. You're becoming obsessed." "No," Daniel said calmly. "I'm becoming disciplined. There's a difference. Obsession owns you. Discipline is something you own." He walked home alone. Part of him felt like he was missing out, but a deeper part, where his roots were growing, felt powerful. The next morning, 5:15 a.m., he got up without hesitation. While Jake slept off a hangover, Daniel was on the track, building his foundation deeper. That's when he understood. The wind is fun for a moment. The roots are powerful forever. Week 7 brought the hardest challenge. Daniel woke Wednesday with a sore throat and fever. His body begged for rest. The old Daniel would have taken the week off. "I'm sick. Even Coach would understand." But he remembered Rule 4. Adapt, don't skip. He couldn't do full training. His body needed recovery. But he could do something. 20 minutes of gentle stretching, visualization, race footage study. He marked the X marks. The chain stayed unbroken. By Friday, he was recovered. The psychological victory of not breaking the chain, even when sick, made him mentally stronger than any workout could. Week 12, 90 days, 180 X marks, not a single gap. Daniel looked at himself in the mirror. His body was leaner, stronger. Race times had dropped 45 seconds per mile. Endurance nearly doubled. But the biggest change was mental. Daniel no longer waited for motivation. He no longer needed inspiring videos or perfect conditions or the feeling of excitement. He had become someone fundamentally different, someone who simply did what needed to be done every single day, regardless of feeling. Discipline had transformed from a burden into his identity. One afternoon, Marcus Chen approached him. "You're different," Marcus said with respect. "You haven't missed once in 3 months." Daniel smiled. "You taught me something that day. You didn't beat me with talent. You beat me with boring Tuesday mornings in the rain. You beat me with consistency nobody saw." Marcus nodded. "That's the secret nobody wants to hear. Everyone wants a magic workout, but it's simpler and harder than that." "Show up every single day," Daniel finished. "Show up every single day," Marcus confirmed, shaking his hand. "Welcome to the club." 3 months later, the state championship arrived. Daniel stood at the starting line as a completely different athlete, not more talented, but more disciplined. The race was brutal. At mile 4, his body begged to slow down. The voice in his head whispered, "You've done enough." But motivation didn't save him. Discipline did. The 90 days of showing up when he didn't want to. The mornings in freezing rain. The Friday nights leaving parties early. All of it had built a foundation that couldn't crack under pressure. He crossed the finish line third. State bronze medalist Marcus won gold again. But as Daniel stood on that podium, he smiled bigger than the gold medalist, because he had become the athlete he was always capable of being. Not because of motivation, because of discipline. My friend, Daniel's story is your story. You have goals, dreams, things you want to accomplish, and you've been waiting. Waiting to feel ready. Waiting for motivation to strike. Here's the truth. Motivation is the wind. Discipline is the roots. The wind is beautiful, but it comes and goes. But roots are built slowly, quietly, beneath the surface. When the storm comes, when motivation has abandoned everyone else, the roots keep you standing. If you want to stop depending on motivation, follow these 3 laws. Law 1, schedule it, don't feel it. Put it on your calendar at the same time every day. Then do it. No negotiation. Law 2, never break the chain. Mark an X every day you complete your commitment. 2 days becomes 3, 3 becomes 30, 30 becomes unstoppable. Law 3, adapt. Don't skip. Can't do the full workout? Do 10 minutes. The chain can't break. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Start deciding to be disciplined. Pick one habit you want to build. Starting tomorrow, commit to 90 days. Same time, same action, every single day. Come to the comments and tell me, what's your one habit? Let's grow roots together. If this story gave you the push to stop chasing the wind, hit that like button and share this with someone who needs it. Remember this truth. The wind gets all the attention, but the wind doesn't win championships. The roots do.